Praise have been running an Optimism mission for the past little more than 2 months. Our mission has been about improving governance accessibility through using Praise together with this new fancy Ethereum infrastructure project called Attestations. In this video, I would like to give a short presentation on what we have achieved, what we have built, and how it's being used within the Optimism community. If you would like to get in contact with Praise, the project, you can see the contacts here. And if you would like to get in contact with me, let's see. There you have my details. So if you would like to get started praising in your own community, please reach out. Optimism uses a two-house governance system. There's the token house and there's the citizens house. And the main responsibility of the citizens house is running the retro PGF funding rounds. What we set out to do with this mission was to create a more welcoming community in the Optimism Discord. That was one part. And also we set out to create a more equitable and inclusive community, or make it easier for people to get involved and become citizens, basically. So currently the citizen selection is done mostly by hand, sort of. The citizens from previous rounds get to recommend new citizens, etc. But hopefully in the not so far future, this can all be automated using Praise as one signal and attestations in general. So let's have a look at how we believe that can happen. So Praise tracks the information or acknowledges any kind of contribution on any kind of platform. So it's really good at acknowledging contributions that are sort of outside of GitHub or outside of Discord or outside of these channels where they can be quantitatively sort of measured and automatically tracked. And we want to use sort of the wisdom that we build up in Praise as one of the determining factors in the citizens selection process. And we use attestations to make an on-chain representation of that wisdom. But we're not alone, or rather we see that it's super important to use other sources as well. So attestations are many projects are starting to use attestations. So for instance, Gitcoin Passport, Optimism in the form of Optimist Profiles, and Regen Score. So we believe in that a combination of these attestations eventually will be the determining factor if someone is eligible to become a citizen or not. Yeah, so I already partly described this, that we believe that Praise gives communities their memory back. So by the community members, they praise each other's contributions, their actions. When you see something that you believe contribute to the shared cause of the community, you should praise it. So it sort of gives a decentralized community its memory back about who did what, when, and to what impact. And that is really important. That is a key piece, the impact of contribution. So what you see on the screen here is just some example praise items registered with the Praise Discord bot. When you type in a praise, it's like sending a tweet. You praise someone for something that they did. It doesn't not come with a monetary value, a token value, or like an impact score or anything like that. So that is taken care of in a separate process by a separate group of people. And that is really important because we don't want praise to be perceived as some sort of tipping system or anything. So first you praise, and then a separate group of people assign the impact of each praise. Basically, they look at each praise item and try to assess if the contribution was a big one or if it was a small one. So at the top there, you can see a really small contribution, praise Biff for joining the community call. Small contribution, important but small. And at the bottom there, praise Vitalik for inventing Ethereum, a fairly large contribution. So, and of course, everything in between can be praised on any platform. And using attestations, we can create a permanent record of these contributions. So praise is mostly a off-chain system. The praise items are not stored on-chain. The impact scores are not stored on-chain by default. But using attestations, we can boil down the wisdom contained in praise into a signal that we can make a permanent record of on-chain. So just a quick refresher on what attestations are, and the Ethereum Attestation Service. It's a service. It's a new Ethereum building block, which I believe will be a key building block going forward, that allows you to make permanent attestations on-chain. And an attestation is sort of a claim or a statement about what is true, what has happened. So it's basically like me. In the case me, I can make an attestation saying like, I confirm that this is true, this was true, that this is the case, that I can attest that this happened. In the case of a community attesting, then it will be Optimism, the Optimism praise community attests to this user being an impactful contributor, for instance. So, summing up, before we will proceed to demoing what we have built and how it's being used, what we have achieved, or the milestones that we have reached during this project, is that we have created an Optimism praise community. We have set up the praise bot and created the dashboard, etc., that you need to manage praise. And the major thing that we have built, the new thing that we have built, is this integration between the praise and the Ethereum Attestation Service. So that is a deep integration into the praise dashboard, meaning that the community administrators can, from the praise dashboard, once a praise period has been closed and the praise have been quantified, they can generate these attestations directly from the praise dashboard and sign it using a multi-sig transaction. So we have kickstarted the praising culture. It takes some time to get going, get into the habit of praising, but I'm quite pleased to say that we have had almost 100 praise users sending and receiving praise, and at least 200 praise during this period have been sent. And this will be, we will be continue pushing to keep praising going, because the quality of praise as a signal, of course, is 100% dependent on it being, that there is a lot of praise, that a lot of contributions are being praised. If only like 1% of the contributions being made on Optimism or in the collective are being praised, then the value of praise as a signal is fairly low. But we have formed a rewards working group, which is the group that takes care of quantifying the praise, of cat-herning. The quantifiers are the people that does the actual work of assessing the impact. So we have formed that working group. We have set up the multi-sig for the praise optimism community. And we have completed quantification of a first round of praise using 9 quantifiers. And using many quantifiers is important. So we avoid any personal bias, etc., because I will show you that the final impact score is an average of the quantifications of more than one quantifier. We have created the first batch of attestations, and finally we have built an explorer to showcase these attestations. We believe it's important to make this information digestible even for a non-tech person. So we have created an explorer where we select the types of attestations that we believe might be important in the future process of citizens' eligibility. This is a process, it's yet to be determined which attestations to use, etc., and how to weigh them against each other and so on. But we have built an explorer to showcase some of them. So let's proceed to demoing some of this. What you see here is the praise dashboard, and the praise dashboard is where you can access all praise items. You can go to optimism.givepraise.xyz to see all that goes on in Optimism praise. There's some analytics, if you like, to see some statistics for this first praise period that we closed down. Like you can see, 190 praise were sent during that first period, and you can see the highest scored praise, the top givers, the top receivers, etc. So let's have a look at the actual period here. The second period is open. People are continuously praising, so we see a lot of praise coming in there as well. But this first period is closed. These were the receivers during that period. The top scored, the most impactful receiver was Oplamand. Top giver was the Breaches, who did a great job of acknowledging a lot of important contributions over the ecosystem. So that is also, something worth celebrating, that someone has the ability to identify and praise valuable contributions, right? Quantifiers, like I said, a group of 9 people were assigned a number of praise each. So that is important. Each praise is being quantified by more than one person. Let's have a look at some like one of them. In this case, Anna Maria praised Oplavand for helping us to bring praise to optimism. And this praise was eventually quantified by Franco, here Breaches, and 2CU4. And they have given different scores. They have different perspectives on whether or not this was an important contribution, and the final score is an average of those 3. Let's go back to the praise period, and I would like to show you the attestations that have been created based on this information. So this tab is new, and this is what we developed for this mission, this deep integration with the Ethereum Attestation Service. So generating attestations is based on running first a data report that filters out any addresses with any users with missing addresses, counting the total scores and grouping people. So we decided that this attestation to include not only the total received score and the total given score, but also some groups. Because that might be valuable in some future scenario of just saying that this user was a top 10 receiver or top 50 receiver, and the same with givers so the attestation creation builds on that data. I'm not able to demo how this works right now because we have already completed the creation of the attestations. So the process looks like this. We generate the data using this report. You propose a safe transaction here directly from this interface. Let's click on that. So you see this transaction is a batched transaction that is doing 39 transfer or 39 contract interactions, creating these attestations. And then eventually this transaction was signed by 3 people on the multisig. The transaction was executed, and we can view it on EAS Scan, which is the explorer built by Ethereum Attestation Service. So you can see here the schema of this attestation containing information, the information I mentioned before, like top receivers and top givers, etc. And here you can see the individual attestations created. So let's have a look at OP Michael, for instance. You can see the blockchain guy has a received score of 165, a given score of 23, etc. Is a top 10, 50, and 100 receiver, and so on. So that's it. That's what I wanted to show you with the praise dashboard. And then the other piece that we have created is the Optimism Citizen Attestations Explorer, we call it for now, in lack of better name. So in this Explorer selects attestations from Gitcoin Passport, the Optimist Profiles, Regen Score, which is another mission 4 project, and praise. We're not saying that we believe that only these 4 types of attestations should be sort of what determines if someone is eligible to become a citizen or not, but we believe that these 4 are a good start. More can easily be included in this. So the purpose of this is like I said, to create an interface that is more easily digestible than this the EAS scanner, where there's a lot of noise, a lot of addresses, and it's difficult to get an overview. So here we have selected only those attestations we believe are important right now. So here you can select to view the praise attestations, the Regen Score ones, the Optimist Profiles, and the Passport scores. And just as a final demo, let's have a look at my profile to show you the strength of this. That in my case, you can see here on my sort of profile page that I have received all these 4 types of attestations. That I have the Passport score, and we also made a custom display of these attestations, so that we really highlight what is important, the data that is important in each attestation type. So in the Optimist profile, we load the image, we display this metadata information, your description, etc. In the praise attestation, we show you these badges so that you clearly signal if this user was a top 50 receiver, etc. And in the case of the Regen Score, we showcase all the data connected to that attestation. I think that might be it. Summarizing all this, we hope that praise, using praise within the Optimism Discord, within the Optimism Collective, will contribute to making Optimism a more welcoming community, and will sort of laying the groundwork, the foundation to allow for more equitable and diverse access to the citizens' house eventually, when these attestations are being put to use. That's it. Thank you. Bye.